my friends. Today I'm very excited. We are playing The Mask on Super Nintendo for the very first time on my original Super Nintendo console. I loved The Mask movie, and somehow I have not yet played The Mask game, and we're playing it for the first time today, live. If you're new to the channel, you will love that I play a different game every single day. And when you hit that subscribe button, you not only get the games, but you get me. The good vibes, the great conversations. You can always check in the time points to see what we talked about if you missed the live stream. So I'm interested to see how far I can get into this game today. And I hope I can go live and do another stream later. So thank you very much for watching. Thanks for smashing that like button. Good to see you, Smoke Buds Heavy. First thing in the morning. Thank you very much to our channel members too. These are all our current channel members right now after we've switched over to YouTube. And these are all the different levels of membership. You can get up to the ability to do a co-stream with me every month. So, here we go, my friends. This is The Mask, the video game. I would love to know in the comments if you played this. I read all my YouTube comments. Turn this game sound down slightly. I loved The Mask when I was a kid because, you know, you're a kid. You can't, you know, you're very limited as a kid in some of the things you can do in the physical world. I love the idea of this dude just putting his mask on and becoming a god. Now, what did this guy... Oh, this guy is trying to hit me, but... What's up, Daniel? Kevin, good to see you from Lakeland, Florida, close by. I'm in St. Petersburg, Florida. Love to get to know where you live at, where you stay at. This dude's coming up with a knife. I don't think so. I played this a little bit to make sure it worked earlier. So we can jump. We can do this little thing, that little speed thing. We got a hammer we can do too. R and L don't seem to do anything. Select doesn't do anything. Start pauses the game. And Y punches. And I don't know why this dude's cats are so lethal. I guess if you remember in the movie there was something about cats, but this dude's got cats that are hella lethal. Well, not lethal, but they take damage off you. Yeah, the movie with the... this cat thrower. Dang, this dude's camping me with cats. This guy with a cigar and cats is camping me. Oh yeah, look at that. I saw a hole in the floor. Get that alarm clock. Look at this dude popping his head up with a shotgun in the bed. First thing. Oh my god. Alright, now what do we do though? What do I do now? Some of these old games, you get stuck quick in them. Oh, I can duck that. We seem to be at a standstill here. What do I do now? Oh, I think it's stuck. I don't think I can do anything to this guy, can I? Wait, what did I just do? You can stick to the ceiling? Dude, you can stick to the ceiling. Look at that. Look at this. What do I do now? I don't see any cracks in the floor. I'm stuck. What's up, Dust Sticks? Nice to see you today. Hey, if you wanna play this thing's $90. I guess this is one of those games that's expensive because people still wanna play it. What do I do right here? What do I do now? I'm stuck, there's a wall right here. What do I do? I don't know what to do now. What do I do right? Dude, that's using my points up to jump. Dude, I have no idea what to do right now. I'm stuck down. Oh my god, how did I do that? Oh, you can jump hella high. All right, all right. Whoa, there it is. Okay, let's go down here. Oh, this is the cat throwing dude again, isn't it? This dude's tossing cats around up above me. Ah, that cat got me. Dang, these cats. Oh my god, I got killed with the cats. What's up, Chase? Nice to see you. There's a crack on the right. All right, let me take a look for that crack. I bet you can find the crack, can't you, Gary? Oh, yeah. I didn't know I could jump so high now. That's pretty cool. There's a crack. All right. Oh, okay, that's cool. This jump is hella funny. I just figured out that you could jump that high. I think we can jump this dude in the cats too now. All right, we gotta keep an eye out for cracks or anything like that. Ah, God. Oh my God, his cat's hit. All right, we gotta duck his cats. No, a cat hit me right there. All right, no, the cat bounces off the wall. Oh my God, these cats are ridiculous. Dude, this guy's throwing cats too. Dude, every way he hits me with a cat. Ah, cat. These dudes need to stop with these cats. I guess they're not gonna stop with a cat. Where's the crack though? I'm not seeing it. Is there a crack somewhere? I'm looking for a crack. Oh, I see one. I see it now. I see it. All right, I see it. Thank you. This poor dude, oh, he's equipped with his punches. Oh, he actually hit me with a punch. Nice. Get that money, Jerry. Get that money, Jerry. All right, here we go. We made it up here. Yeah, more money. Let's go. Whoa, you can go through an air vent? Hold up, really? Wow, what else are they gonna think of next? Dude, that's crazy. All right, thank you. What's up, Katie? Nice to see you today. Chase said, oh yeah, thank you for asking all those questions. Chase is wanting to keep up. You do all those things still? Nice. Let me copy and paste that in the timestamps. So if you haven't seen my studio before, I'll show you around, explain how we do this. So in my studio, I got the game here, OBS here, YouTube right there, YouTube chat right here. Then I take notes on this side, anything interesting that happens during the live stream that then if you are watching it afterwards, you can scroll through and click on there. So, Chase asked, are you still jamming in FL Studio? Nope, I'm not doing any music anymore because, for better or worse, you know, what I do that people really seem to love is make videos. Me making music doesn't seem to really get people excited that much. So I focus on making gaming videos specifically. Oh, that bullet caught me right in my little mask wiener. Oh, here's an air vent we can go in, can't we? Oh, it sucked me off. I mean, sucked me up. That's not a crack right there? What? All right, what do we do now? Oh, good thing the walls stop bullets. Oh, you can bust the window out. Let's go. All right, all right. Over here, big boy. Yeah, how you like that, huh? Oh my God, this dude killed me with the bowling balls. Mr. Bowling Balls just killed me. All right, y'all think we can get through this in an hour? We're gonna see if we can get through this in an hour. So I'm not jamming in FL Studio anymore. I am still going to AA. I'm over 8 years sober. I go to a meeting almost every day. I chaired a meeting yesterday. I'm gonna go to either a 5:30 or a 7:30 meeting tonight. I like how he walks. You like that? I like how he walks. Ah, the cat man. Dude, he throws him high, throws him low. Oh yeah, I can duck him if he throws him low. Dang, he caught me before I went out the window. crap, this cat guy. Oh, I tried to duck that. Oh, I ducked that one. Duck that one. Duck that one. Nice. We're gonna duck these cats. What else do you ask? Yeah, I'm still making money online, not as much. I was making over $10,000 a month on Facebook Gaming a little while in February. But then I came out and said that, hey, it's Black History Month. I see all these people changing their gender, and I'm just figuring that logically I could change my race. And I wanted to change my race for a long time. I wanted to be a different race for a long time. I just didn't realize that legally, your race is your choice. Legally, your race is your choice. It's not biology, it's not genetics. If you look at the law, your race is your choice. Wow, we're punching this guy right in his wiener. Can you not kill this guy, though? I guess you... Oh, I did kill him, finally. Okay. So, I changed my race, and Facebook took me off the partner program and demonetized me for changing my race. They said me changing my race went against the spirit of Black History Month. I'm like, no, I actually think that is directly in the spirit of Black History Month, if you think about it. Unless you discriminate based on my race, then it's not. And it was really cool. There was a black celebrity, Charlemagne the God, who made a video supporting me. And who put Facebook on Donkey of the Day. Which is the same spot like that he would put somebody saying they're racist in the Donkey of the Day spot. Facebook got Donkey of the Day for demonetizing me. But I did notice they did not put that story on Facebook. It was on YouTube and it was on the radio show, but I did notice they did not put that story on Facebook, which makes perfect sense. So I'm actually very grateful for that experience for a lot of reasons. And one of the big reasons is it got me focused completely on YouTube. Because YouTube didn't take any action on my account for changing my race. So now I'm all in on YouTube. I stream every day on YouTube. And I stream exclusively on YouTube. And I stream new games, old games, and everything in between. Hey, Chase, congratulations on a month sober. What's up, Michael Burgess? Nice to see you today. Yes, this is where the magic has happened. I'm glad you like Meowbot. I'll listen to Meowbot again. I made some cool music. A lot of the early songs I did were, pretty hard to listen to. But I ended up making some songs that were pretty good, too. Alright, so you can't do the hammer if you crouch down, which is interesting. You're a 100-meter race? Chase, that's a good race to be. Did you see my speaker meetings I take at Chase? You stay on Old Pokes City Road in Lakeland, Florida. Nice. Daniel says YouTube is the way to go. It is. What I love about YouTube, the gaming community is the largest on YouTube. Because people, no matter who you are, no matter what kind of gamer you are, you watch videos on YouTube. You watch tutorials, you watch, a lot of people might not watch streams, but YouTube is truly the #1 place people watch gaming content. Not Twitch, not Facebook, it's YouTube. Dude, this level's getting hella tricky now. I gotta keep up. YouTube is the main place people watch gaming content because of the tutorials. People are always watching tutorials on games on YouTube. And I started a new YouTube channel at first, but it seems, the YouTubers that were helping me were advising me to start a new YouTube channel. And what I didn't realize is all I needed to do is clean up my old channel, and my old channel would work great. This is a cool game right here. I know, it seems like I belong on YouTube. I've been on YouTube 11 years, and I've never had any significant problems on YouTube in 11 years. A couple of people filed copyright strikes. I submitted counter notifications and got rid of both of them. YouTube has taken real good care of me as a creator over the last 11 years. And I have not ever committed to doing a really good job and being really consistent on my YouTube channel over any period of time. And I'm very excited to see our community is growing here. I'm very excited to see where we go on YouTube over the next few years. Chase said you gotta keep busy. Do I like elephants? I mean, sure. I've seen some elephants at the zoo. I like elephants. What's up, Daniel? Thanks for watching. Daniel Summerlin and Daniel Balu. Hey, what makes sobriety a lot easier is going to AA meetings. And man, that makes it so much easier. And yeah, the first couple of months can be a little rough staying sober, but after that, it's so much easier. Once you do the work and work the steps and start helping other people and live a new way, dude, it's so much easier staying sober. You don't have to, you know, getting drunk and being an active alcoholic is difficult. That takes a lot of time and energy and work. Dude, this lady's got a shotgun. Oh my god. Oh, you can hit her? Wait, she's got a mask on too? Do I need to beat her? The old lady ain't playing. Oh, nice, we took the old lady out. Let's go. Did we beat the level? Let's go, we beat the level, baby, let's go. I know YouTube is a great platform. I'll put a time point in the chat about that real quick. Let's hope they don't camp me. All right, we got to the next level. We got 1 life. I wish I'd went back. All right, so what time is it? 17. I stopped using Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Twitch. All right, so I'm putting a time point in right now. I stopped using Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or not YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok. Like, as a regular user, all I do on those platforms except TikTok and Twitch, I do post when I go live. For those of you, just to convert people over to YouTube. But I've stopped using all those platforms as a regular user. I found my mental life especially, has been a lot better without using any of those platforms. Because my attention is focused now. And YouTube is really good for long-form content. And I find I prefer to engage with long-form content. You know, to listen to something for an hour or two. So I found my life mental when I was using all these other platforms, and I was trying to just use them to upload shorts, but you know, and inevitably I would upload a short on Instagram one day. I uploaded some little short video, and then I see, you know, a post by someone I follow, Brene Brown, making this post full of hate speech, talking about how basically white men are ruining the world. I'm like, this is racism and this is gender discrimination right here. You know, come on, Brene. Really? And, you know, then I'm all aggravated over it. You know, and I'm like, you know what? This is what these platforms do. This is what these platforms do. They promote content with the intention to get you aggravated and to get you distracted. And I'm in there thinking about Brene Brown's annoying post and, like, you know, how ridiculous it is. Like, wow, I posted I changed my race. That gets taken down for hate speech. Brene Brown does a post saying that white men are ruining the world, basically. And if you substituted out the white or the men in there, you know, that would easily be hate speech if you substituted either of those out. But because it's white men, that's, at least on Instagram, on her post, that's okay. You know, you can, it's okay. That's not hate speech, that's just stating facts or whatever. But I realized, you know, when I get aggravated, I try and learn from the experience. And I looked at it, I'm like, all right, what did I do here? And I'm like, well, what? So I'm having this conversation in my head, like, well, what? All I did, I was just trying to upload a video on Instagram with my gaming stuff. And I realized, you know what? I can't just upload a video on Instagram without accidentally seeing content on Instagram. And the content that is on Instagram is often toxic, or is often, you know, you see somebody having their best day, living their best life, but you don't see all the ugly in there. Often it seems as if these platforms are designed to help you feel bad and help promote arguments and fighting and disconnection and misinformation and distraction. And I realized, you know what? If I want to be happy, I need to focus just on YouTube. And if I upload things on Instagram, if I upload videos on Instagram, I can't help but to see posts on Instagram. And if I see posts on Instagram, because of how the platform works, I will invariably get aggravated, see things that piss me off, see things that leave me feeling jealous or not good enough, or, you know, all these negative emotions that the platform seems to almost intentionally, addictively cultivate. You know, part of the thing of addiction is, yeah, the platform can give you some instant gratification sometimes, but at what cost? Often the initial instant gratification you get quickly becomes, you know, an addiction. It's like drinking. You have a couple of drinks the first time and feel different, and all of a sudden, you know, before you know it, you're an alcoholic. So I've stopped using Instagram, Facebook, and basically everything but YouTube. The only exception is, you know, I post, because there's so many of you that follow me on these other platforms. Wait, I already went in there, didn't I? This is where I came from, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm making this transition off of all these other platforms over onto YouTube. So I'm gonna give those of you that have followed me some time to transition over here. And, you know, at some point I won't even post that I'm going live on these platforms. But for now, I've built a following for years on these platforms. It makes sense to, you know, keep posting that I'm about to go live on Facebook, or on, you know, do a little post. I can just make a post to my own Facebook page, to my own Instagram profile. I can do that without seeing anybody else's posts. And to me, that's the key. I need to be able to post without seeing anything that anybody else has to say. Now that might sound kind of douchey, like, wow, you're gonna go on there and you don't even want to see anything other people say. Yes, I don't want to see anything anybody else has to say on Facebook. Because it doesn't seem like it's in my best interest to view that. So I've got it set up now so I can post on all these platforms. I can post on Facebook and Twitter without actually seeing, and Instagram without actually seeing any other posts. And eventually, you know, I figure I give it like a year or so, and then I won't post on these other platforms at all, even when I go live. You know, once people have got the chance to get used to watching on YouTube. Oh, the cat man. So I share this today because lots of times life can seem hopeless or really challenging, but from what I've seen, all you really need to do is make a relatively small amount of changes to make a really big difference in your life. You know, I found by deleting all those apps off my phone, I no longer have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, or Twitter on my phone. By deleting all those apps from my phone, I'm my life is going, especially mentally, I'm feeling a lot more focused, a lot less distracted. How do I get that mask? That would be nice. So if you're feeling like your attention is fragmented, like you're never good enough, like you're consistently getting aggravated, this is why I only stream on YouTube too, like, because I can very easily use YouTube without having that happen. Like on YouTube, I can easily, YouTube's algorithm does a very good job at giving you what you're already interacting with. YouTube's algorithm, like, you know, I watch all this uplifting positive stuff, and YouTube's algorithm just keeps giving me more of that. So one thing you might try today, if you know, especially if you take inventory of yourself and you feel like you're kind of addicted to these platforms, delete all of them from your phone and just use YouTube. It's helped me a lot. Chase said you made me feel like playing Earthworm Jim. I have played that. What's cool is if you search Jerry Banfield and then a game on YouTube, you'll be amazed how many games I've played. Yeah, so Michael got me thinking YouTube is a great platform, man. And some of these platforms might be more of a reflection of human consciousness than of the platform itself, but I think they're related. Like there's law of attraction. You know, Facebook as a platform from top to bottom seems to care about profit more than anything else. Like it seems to care about making a profit more than having a good user experience. Because the reason a lot of these toxic posts are featured on these platforms is because it's profitable. I mean, ultimately, these platforms almost all they care about is your time and your attention. That's like all they care about. They just want you to keep coming back at any cost. And they've intentionally made these platforms as addictive as possible so that you use them. I mean, it's just pretty logical. And maybe it's just a function of YouTube being long-form content that to me makes it a lot better. It seems like when I use Facebook, I can't help but running into all this crap all the time. Same thing on Twitter, same thing on Instagram and TikTok. But YouTube seems to do pretty good. I often don't run into all that crap on YouTube. You know, if you watch a bunch of gaming videos, YouTube will just give you gaming videos. I know, right? Everyone is sleeping. Hey, what's up, Lisa? Nice to see you today. I got time for a stream this morning, and this is do you think it was worth $100? $98 for this game. Do you think it was worth $98 for this game? I was really excited to see this game, and I actually just traded in. I just traded in other games to get this game in the first place. I just traded in games to get this, and I'm thinking I'll trade this game in once I play it and get a Sega Genesis. Because there's this Michael Jackson Moonwalker game that's only on Sega Genesis. And some of these games, like if I get really excited and curious to see a game, I'm guessing that means you probably will feel the same way. Like if you see like, wow, look at this Michael Jackson game on Sega Genesis. You know, if I have that reaction, that's probably gonna be a good video for YouTube. Lisa, how are you doing today? What's new with you? I woke up this morning feeling, my daughter was laying around saying she was feeling sick. She just started second grade, but yesterday she went to Adventure Island all day with one of her friends. And then, you know, then this morning she wakes up saying she's sick. I'm like, well, that's nice. And I got all aggravated from one silly reason to another. Like the toilet was clogged, and I didn't know it until I needed it not to be clogged. But Sometimes I think when you are an artist, I look at myself as an artist. Like, I create. You know, I'm not just like grinding stuff out. I'm an artist. Oh, there's that mask. Nice. You know, I'm not just grinding stuff out. I'm an artist. Now, how do I get out of here? That was nice. I figured out how to get that extra life, though. Where do I go from here? Moonwalker is an awesome game. Hey, that's what I'm thinking. Lisa says, question is, do you think it was worth it? Do you think was worth it? Oh, so I got all aggravated and I realized, you know what? Sometimes my aggravation is just resistance. I'm like, you know what I need to do? I need to get on my live stream this morning and just do my live stream, because often I just feel better doing my live stream. And like, as soon as I do my live stream, you know, my aggravation energy turns into creative energy. Oh yeah, alright, it's the lady with the gun again. I'm gonna get you. Oh man, she got me several times. Oh, you can do that to her. Oh, you can punch her too. Dang, old girl's hitting me up this time. Ah, she killed me. Let's go. What's up, Brandon? Nice to see you. Oh, so Lisa said, do you think this game was... Let me put that as a time point too. That's a good question. I'd love to know your feedback. Do you think the game was worth? So, let me check the time point on that. So, is the game worth $98? Well, there's two parts to that. One, while the game actually costs $98, I'm gonna trade the game in, and then I'll probably get 30 or 40 back in store credit for it. And then with that, I'll use that store credit plus other store credit to trade in and get a Sega Genesis. So I think... Dude, we owned her last time. We use a hammer on her. That's what we need. She needs that hammer in her life. We're one shot. Ah, she killed me again. I got her last time. She killed me twice this game. Yeah, so I definitely think this game was worth $98, but what do you think? I definitely think this game was worth $98 because a game like this definitely has the potential to go out there on YouTube. Because so many people love the movie The Mask, and so many people don't even know that this game exists. I think a game like this gives me a good shot of growing out there on YouTube. Dang. Oh Lord, that's... Oh, that got me right in the foot. Oh my God, this old lady's going off this time. Yeah, so I think for the long term, playing some of these games like this, like a game like this is not likely to get remastered either. And a game like this could get watched indefinitely. So a game like this, people could be watching this easily for 20 years from now. So I figure I keep taking, you know, just keep taking chances on games like this. I'm gonna whoop your butt, old woman. Oh, that's what I did before. We got the hammer trap down on it. That's right, get the teabag going. Let's go, baby. Yeah, so I think long term, a game like this definitely pays off. Because a game like this has the potential to make thousands of dollars in ad revenue to bring in thousands of subscribers. And when you stack that with other games over the long term, you know, like I get that Sega Genesis game with Michael Jackson. You know, when you just keep repeating that over and over again with other games, I mean, yeah, over time, it's gonna work out really well. And I was asking for a sign. If you're wondering if you're on the right track in life, I like to ask for a sign. Give me a sign. And the two of my videos, the Castlevania live stream, that Game Boy one, that one's going off. That one's getting up to like 200 views a day now in the browse feed. Now keep in mind, before this, almost none of my videos were getting 200 views a day in the browse feed. So this Castlevania video's popped off better than any of my gaming videos have in quite a while. After the fact, so not counting like Warzone videos while I was actually live. And that was exactly the sign I was looking for, because if this is working how I think it's working, then that Castlevania video, that's gonna happen again and again and again on a bunch of different streams over the years. Which, you know, then that's in terms of all of my objectives. Like, I want to get my videos out to everybody who might enjoy them, uplift the world as much as possible, and, you know, not have to work any other kind of job to have all my basic needs met. And my basic theory all rests on the idea that, you know, if I play a different game every day, sometimes YouTube will crank my videos out in the browse feed, which will build a new audience. So the Castlevania video and the Fallout video are both going out nicely now. And those of you that watch every day, it's because of you. YouTube is giving those videos a chance because of those of you that show up every day. And then those videos are bringing in new people now. And I've learned too, I want to grow slow and steady. I don't want to grow like super viral fast overnight, because I mean that causes problems. You know, what I'm seeing right now is steady growth on YouTube, which is awesome. Yeah, I'm glad it is going good. I'm glad I got the sign I asked for too. If you have some doubt in an area of your life, one of the easiest things to do can be to ask for a sign. Like Britney Spears, give me a sign. Just ask for a sign. And ask for a specific sign, and I usually ask for a sign that's not too difficult. You know, one that you could believe could pretty easily happen. Oh crap, we're down to 50. Come on! Yes, we killed that. Wait. Oh, dang it. I think I'm doing a second stream. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a night stream too. I really like being able to do a morning, afternoon, and/or evening stream. I love it in those different times because I know some of you have different schedules. You can't watch at certain times. And it's nice for YouTube too. That way, you know, I can take 2 chances at playing a game you might really enjoy instead of 1. We can have 2 different kinds of conversations too. You know, sometimes what we talk about in the morning might be a lot different than what we talk about at night. Is there a dog I can get up here? There was a dog I saw up here. Oh, I can't go over there right now, can I? Okay. Oh, the ball hit me from way over there. Okay. Oh my god, it hit me from way over there again? Alright, we're gonna stay out of the way next time. Oh my god. This... What? Sometimes in life when you get better at things, you regress at first. Yes, we killed that thing. Alright, now what? Now what? What am I supposed to do with this? Oh, there's an air vent. Wait, no. That's why I came in on. What am I supposed to do with this ball swinger? Is it gonna knock open the wall for me now? Is there a crack in the floor? Ow, that thing hurts. Game over right there. Game over. Alright, I think we can do one more time on this game now. Lisa says Jerry and coffee go good together, but not Jerry before coffee. Oh, you're funny. You're funny for that one. Alright, we're taking one more shot at this, see if we can knock it out. You knock him out. I know, I got wrecked. Alright, here we go. Thank you for the 10 likes. Dude, I loved that game I played last night. Dune Spice Wars, that was so much fun. I could play that game all day today. Like, I think I could do like a 12-hour live stream on that game today. And see, that's why we need a rule that I don't play games more than once. Because if I play games more than once, I might be grinding that as my main game. That might be my main game. And while Dune Spice Wars was a lot of fun to play, it is, I can see some of y'all thinking it's not as fun to watch. Ooh, we got away from that cat. Let's go. All right, we're gonna get better at this game. We're gonna get better and better at this game constantly. We're gonna get better and better at it. Oh, pop your... There we go. Hit the fucking clock. Oh, he got me with that bullet. Okay. Oh, there's a heart right there, too. I know, it was good ASMR to work to. Hey, what's up? Tempestade YouTube. Good to see you. Thanks for watching today. Yeah, I'm glad it was good ASMR to work to. Alright, we're gonna go get that mask later. Give us an extra life. What was I gonna say? Something I was gonna say was good. Ah, there it goes. It'll come back in a minute. This guy has a big gun. Alright, Mr. Bowling Ball. No more bowling balls for you. No more bowling balls for you. I'm gonna take them nuts out. Oh no, he got one off. Oh my god, I just went ham. I just went ham right there. You're like, what's ham mean, Jerry? Hard as a mother. That's what ham means. I was watching a video yesterday talking about, this would be a good time point to put in. I got sloppy on my time points lately, like not putting that many of them in. Alright. Alright, so I just put a time point in. I was watching a video yesterday I've been wondering, like, if you look back at the old school games, they used to make a game for, like, every movie. Every big movie had a game. Especially, like, the Xbox, the PlayStation era. Xbox, the first Xbox and PlayStation 2. It was a really sweet time to be a gamer. Because games were getting pretty good. And the developers were just making a ton of games. And lately I've been wondering, it seems like there aren't as many games made lately. Like, they made a Bad Boys game on Xbox, but they did not make a Bad Boys 2 or a Bad Boys, any other Bad Boys games. And I'm like, what's up with that? And well, what happened was the cost of games kept going up. You used to be able to crank out the old Xbox and PlayStation games for relatively cheap. So it wasn't a big deal to make like an Xbox or a PlayStation game back in the day because it didn't cost you that much money, and since you could sell the game for like 60 bucks, you didn't have to actually move that many copies of the game to make a profit. So if you could turn out a game for like $1 million, let's say the game's 50 bucks each, you only needed to sell, like, what is that, 20,000 copies? 20,000 copies is like nothing. You could only needed to sell 20,000 copies to make a profit. You know, so then if you got back then, a $10 million game, decently big budget game, you move 200,000 copies, you broke even. If you can sell 1 million, you can come out looking pretty good. But what happened was the cost of these games has continued to go up and up and up. So now these companies don't want to invest in games because they cost so much, and it's so easy to lose on a game today because games cost so much to develop. You know, like you make some big budget game these days, and you gotta sell so many of the game just to break even. Like, these games today could cost about as much as a Hollywood movie to make. So these companies are not one. And like, if you got a movie game, for example, you know, the companies are liable to charge such high licensing fees to license the game, then it's not worth it if you're a game developer to license one of these big name movie games, because yeah, basically we're not getting as many video games made now as we used to in terms of the big budget or bigger, you know, relatively bigger budget games on things like movies and stuff. I've wondered about that. I'm like, it seemed like it used to be a better time and I've been shocked at how many games are out that I didn't even know about because they just made, like Scarface. If there was a movie like Scarface today, they probably wouldn't make a game for the movie today because they'd be looking at the risk of losing money. But Scarface 20 years ago, yeah, they cranked a game out for that. I've been wondering about that. So what that's been leading to is there's not as many games these days. Yeah, we got this mask back here. There's not as many games these days, like big budget games. And then the games like Call of Duty, you know, these just get huge, just massive budgets put behind these games. And sometimes they don't even make a profit on the game. So, where was I going to that? I was going somewhere with that whole line of chat. Also, this is one reason it's really nice to play new games, because there's... And also, another thing, when they used to have video games, there weren't all these free-to-play games that people just grinded on endlessly forever. Like, you have games like Destiny. My brother just grinds Destiny 2, like, constantly. So, selling somebody like my brother a game these days is a lot more difficult than it used to be because, you know, my brother just grinds Destiny 2 constantly. So it's a lot harder to sell my brother, dude, did we just take that level out in one life? See, look at that. This is why I love playing all these different games, because it requires a lot of... It's kind of uncomfortable to try a new game for the first time and you don't know anything about it. But the amount of learning that happens in the beginning of a new game is massive. And the memories it makes are correspondingly massive. Whereas when you just grind a game constantly, the amount of learning you do drops off consistently as you play the game more. Which makes it more comfortable to play. Often when you start trying something new for the first time is when it's most difficult and challenging for your brain. They've done an amazing experiment where they showed that patients with, I don't know if it was dementia or Alzheimer's, but one of those things that are often like diseases that are often age-related, of brain deterioration, they basically found that if you consistently did new things in your life and kept active, you know, and hung out with people and were open to learning new things, you know, not just playing Sudoku every single day, but you really challenged your brain by trying completely new stuff. Like playing a new video game every day makes your brain work a bit because, you know, you gotta learn the systems in this new game. Yeah, there's similarities, but, you know, you gotta learn how the new game works. It challenges your brain, it makes your brain a little uncomfortable. And they found in the study that you could basically, you know, 2 patients could have the exact same looking brain, and one of them could just be full-on dementia or Alzheimer's. Just, you know, basically not functional at all. While the other one would have the same kind of brain scan, but outwardly you would have no idea that inwardly their brain looked the same as a Alzheimer's or dementia patient. And the lifestyle choices made all the difference in the world. The people who are trying new things and experimenting were, you know, their brains, they were able to keep functioning regardless of their brain scans. Whereas the people who were just locked into like watching the same news at the same time, doing the same things every day, not learning or growing or expanding, these people then had very outward signs of dementia and Alzheimer's and, you know, needed help. So the idea is you want to keep learning and growing always and trying new things, challenging your brain, not getting stuck in just doing the same things all the time. Myrtle Ash says, young Cameron Diaz, for real. Myrtle Michael says, I know Arnold and the movie Predator's popular, but when Predator Hunting Ground came out, it didn't do as well as they expected. Yeah, that's the games they put. Now, what I'm seeing, there's a lot of indie games. What's really cool right now is the game development tools. It's easier than ever for one person to make a video game today, which is great. And that means that now it is a great time to be an indie developer because you can essentially make a game almost, you know, just yourself for free. You don't even need to like pay anybody. And then all you really need help with is promoting that game. That's like what you really need help with. So what I'm seeing is that, you know, I'm making my channel over the long term. I could be somebody that, you know, I get in with the indie gaming community, like people who make their own games for cheap, you know, and then they've got just enough sales. Their game's just good enough to have a little bit of a marketing budget. And then, you know, I'm the person who would be great sponsor to get your game out there to more people. So, you know, I'm thinking that by playing these different games every day, I could have a really positive impact on the indie gaming community. And really help people, indie gamers out, who are making, you know, or often making like innovative, cool, different kinds of games. Am I getting hit by the thing? Alright, we gotta jump that. Like a game like this, you could pretty much make a game like this by yourself these days. Nice, we got rid of that. Oh, did I actually hit that? Attaboy, Zed, I want you to pick it up. Hey, what's up, Myrtle Ash? Thanks for hitting that 13th like today. Good to see you today. You remember renting this game from Blockbuster? Nice. This is the first time I played it before. Yeah, so I see one of the biggest needs in the gaming community going forward is people who will play indie games. Ow. Dang it. Alright, I think I figured out where to hit to break this thing. So I think in the future I could be a huge resource for indie game developers. You know, and then I can play the big hits myself, but then I can also play these indie games. You know, because some of these indie games are really fun. Because a lot of the main games are made with the same kind of mindset all the time, which makes it boring. So what I'm basically trying to say to you is, I find in my life trying new things is extremely valuable. Not getting locked into playing the same games or saying the same things, doing the same things, going to the same places. I find it's really valuable to keep learning, keep growing, keep expanding all the time. And to me, gaming is an easy place to learn and to grow and to expand. Wait, I can hit that with a hammer, huh? Alright, the POW looks like... Oh, you gotta be careful, but the POW looks like the ball swinger. Ah, the ball breaker, too. Oh, it hit me twice. You don't get, like, any invincibility period. Oh, yeah, the POW's when I'm doing damage. Okay, so we need to take this part out first. Oh, my God. Alright, we're gonna learn how to do this. Oh, dude, if you hit it from the back, it totally blows it up hella easy. Nice. She don't want to seem like she easy. Ain't saying what you won't do, but you know we probably gonna do what you been missing in your life. Gonna let it out now. Speaking of that, I need to start listening to some different music. I listen to ETC Kid. He puts out a lot of different songs. I need to listen to some different music, though. I know indie games can turn out to be classics. So we're in this kind of dichotomy now where there's not as many big budget games, but there are a lot of indie games. What am I supposed to do? Jump out of that straight off? I'm like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. I know you do keep getting like number 13. That's kind of funny. What I find really rewarding is seeing the progress and the learning I'm doing. Like, I find it very fulfilling. Like, in this game, I can see very clear progress I've made in an hour. Whereas when you're grinding Warzone constantly, you know, it can be difficult to see that you made any progress in an hour, you know? But this is the value of doing new things. And it can help you see how you can easily get down on yourself if you just do the same things all the time. But if you're doing new things, it's much easier to kind of see, oh, hey, I am learning. I am growing. Oh, man. I was reading a little bit of a book today by Jesse Ventura called 63 Documents the Government Doesn't Want You to Know About. Maybe I'll throw that in the description. We'll talk about that real quick. Alright, so I'm putting this in the time points so you'll be able to anyone, if you're watching after live, you're able to find this. So what is it, 59.59? Yeah, all right. So I was reading a book today called 63 Documents the Government Doesn't Want You to Read. It's by pro wrestler, former Navy SEAL, and Governor of Minnesota, Jesse Ventura, who has written some best-selling, what you might think of as conspiracy books. And if I could summarize, you really gotta question everything. He has documents in there and suggests that the Vietnam War was, that JFK was trying to pull out of Vietnam, and the military-industrial complex did whatever anything necessary, including assassinating the president, including faking incidents in Vietnam to make the American public, you know, declare war or to pass the Gulf of Tonkin resolution. And it was basically, you know, these are things a lot of people would rather not. Like, I got this tattoo on my arm in 2010, and you know, I never imagined that one day, some days, this feels like having a swastika on my arm. In the sense that, all right, so if you were in Germany in the 30s, you know, yeah, having one of them kind of tattoos might be real in style. But what about in the 50s? You know, that wouldn't be so cool, would it? Like that. I see there's a huge need for transparency and an end to secrecy in our governments and in our companies, because there's things happening that are really sketchy, and you know, sometimes you're seeing it right in your face. Like over the last 2 years, we've seen the government and company lying and misinformation, you know, where they're giving you a tiny bit of truth and it's wrapped up in a narrative that's meant to scare you without the relevant facts. Like the COVID narrative. The COVID narrative, there was some truth, but there was a lot of dishonesty in that you weren't given you weren't given what you really needed to know. You didn't really need to know about cases. You didn't need to know how many cases there were. What you needed to know was how many people died versus how, you know, the death rate. And then the death rate compared to other things. Like the death rate compared to the flu, pretty close. Maybe a little bit more. That would have given you an accurate presentation of the facts. Instead, you got fear, you got control. You know, you were clearly not, your governments and companies at the very highest levels did not give you an accurate presentation of the relevant facts that you ought to know. And that has been clearly happening for a very long time. It seems the September 11th narrative was heavily manipulated. I question now, you know, what was even true about it. It seems that all along our governments and companies have been keeping secrets, and in some cases devastating, horrible human rights violations. You know, things like Vietnam, secrets were kept that led to millions of people dying, and no one, from what I understand, has been held accountable for it. And yet, then you got the news talking about all these people who murder one or two people. You know, you got the news focusing on things like you get an officer of one skin color, murders somebody of another skin color. And again, the narrative is totally disingenuous. The narrative is racism instead of context. That, you know, interracial violence is relatively uncommon and even rare. It is very rare for a police officer of one skin color to kill a suspect of another skin color. That is very rare. What is very unfortunately common is for a person of one skin color to kill another person of the same skin color. That is extremely common. And for every time there's interracial police violence, there's thousands of cases of a person of the same race killing another person of the same race. Again, like a totally disingenuous narrative that's put out there. People protesting the wrong thing. Protesting police departments instead of, you know, why are so many people of the same race killing each other? That's a much better question to ask. And it's not a certain race issue. If you're white, you're most likely to get killed by another white person. You're most likely to get killed by yourself and then by another white person. If you're black, you're most likely to kill yourself, and if you don't kill yourself, another black person is the most likely to kill you. It's like our whole system has been compromised on some level. I'm stuck right now too. I need some advice. I don't know where to get out of this thing. Our whole system on some level has been compromised. Like, the media is not giving us the news we really need to know about. And the secrets that really need to get out there are any means necessary is being used to hide things that need to come out. Like, if you try and reveal government secrets, you are a terrorist and you can go to prison. And you might be thinking, okay, what can I do about this? Well, what you can do is cultivate a commitment to honesty yourself. If you keep your health and your sex life and your money secret, you deserve a government that operates the same way. If that's how you operate, you deserve a government that does the same thing. Like, I was talking to this lady the other day. She's like, well, I don't think I should talk about my sex life at an AA meeting. I'm like, why? Well, it's not polite. Why? So I asked her why, and basically it came down to, that's how you were, that's how I was raised. That was her final, like, why answer. Well, I was just raised that way. And I say, ask why again. Why were you raised that way? You were raised that way because keeping secrets about things that are very important screws you over. And it screws everybody else over too. That's why you were raised that way. You were raised to keep issues that will screw you over the most if kept secret, and that other people can help you with a lot. You've been raised to keep those secret because those of us that know the power of talking to other people and asking for advice on these issues, you know, are practically have like superpowers. Oh, there we go. We finally dropped through and figured that out. Whereas those of you who've not realized that by keeping things secret and not asking for help and being transparent, you are screwing yourself over, and by screwing yourself over, all of us are doing, you know, you're more susceptible to manipulation. A person who keeps secrets and lies themselves is much more easily lied to. Whereas you got me, I don't keep secrets, I don't lie. It's difficult to lie to me. I just have a sense of when I'm being lied to, and over the last and it's not always direct lying as much as it's, you know, I'm not being given the relevant facts. Like, I was not deceived at all over the last 2 years. I knew, I'm like, I know I'm not being given the relevant facts here. I know that there's all these dishonest narratives that are getting peddled for the purpose of disempowering me, and I'm not going for it. So if you want a government that's honest, then be honest yourself. And you know when it's most important to be honest? It's most important to be honest when you don't want to be honest. When it's embarrassing, when it's frightening, that's when it really matters to be honest. And I think it'll only take a small percentage of us being absolutely committed to honesty and truth to make a real change to our governments and our companies. I mean, it could be as small as 20%. If 20% of us refuse to keep secrets and have an absolute commitment to honesty like I do and transparency. I don't do anything in my life that I won't tell everybody about. I think if just 20% of us operate that way, our governments and companies can't keep all these things secret, can't lie to us and manipulate us anymore. Because really the governments are made up of us. Companies are made up of people just like us. You know, CEOs of companies, presidents of countries have family, and they have friends. And, you know, your family and your friends influence you a lot. So if your family and friends, you know, if everybody you know consistently lies about things that matter and, you know, isn't transparent, then that's just what seems natural to you. But if you're honest, you know, the way I have changed and been the last few years has rubbed off on everybody around me. So let me catch up on the chat. Hey, what's up, Derek? Thank you very much for following me from Facebook. Thank you for being here and congrats on 3 years of sobriety. Myrtle Ash says, first thing LBJ signed as president was our commitment into the war in Vietnam. I didn't know that, but it makes perfect sense, unfortunately. Thank you for telling me about Hammer on the Floor. We finally figured out how to go through there. Myrtle Ash said there was no plane wreckage at 2 of the crash sites. Really? I didn't even know that. That's crazy. I've never even heard that. Myrtle says, I want the blue pill, Morpheus. Get that fluff out of my face, Larry. Well, see, hey, Michael says more people should be as open and honest as you. It takes other people being open and honest to help the rest of us feel safe to be human. Like, you know how Donald Trump's slogan was Make America Great Again? I'm gonna steal this from somebody else, but somebody else's slogan they said is, you know, somebody should run on a campaign of make it safe to be human again. My friend, my massage therapist friend said that. She's like, make it safe to be human again. I think a lot of people are desperate to be honest and to be transparent, but they need examples. And that's what I had. When I went to Alcoholics Anonymous, there was a guy named Ty. You know, this guy shared things in AA meetings that I wouldn't have been willing to talk to anybody about. You know, and he's passed on now, so he's very happy for me to share his story with you. Dude, you just trapped this guy in a whirlwind? That's funny. This guy has hella health, though. My God. Like, Ty talked about his journey with healing the trauma of incest. He talked about, you know, struggling with having, you know, paying for sex in sobriety. And he talked about his cancer. You know, so this is a guy who put his health life, his sex life, you know, and his money, like, right out there in the open for anybody in an AA meeting to see. And he's the one, him and some other people in the meetings, they really inspired me. Because I saw the power of his honesty, and I saw how he could love and appreciate himself. He's the one who really inspired me. So my goal is to show up every day and help inspire more. And it's my example that makes a difference. It's not my word, it's my example. It's my example that makes a difference. When I show up here and tell you that, you know, the most challenging stuff that happens in my life, then, you know, it rubs off on you a little bit. And that's, each of us makes a true meaningful difference in the world. That's why I love playing these games, because I've learned that I don't want to have, you know, toxic titles like the government lies to you constantly or something like that. Lisa says we wouldn't need honesty if we didn't have liars. It would be natural. Well, I think it's an evolution of human consciousness. Like, as a child, I've noticed my daughter has started lying. At like 5 or 6 years old, she started lying. She'll hit her brother, And then right afterwards, he'll say, you hit me. And she'll say, no, you didn't. And like, to me, lying is a childish thing to do. It's a self-centered thing to do. It makes sense if you've done something bad. Like, I lied to the police before. Somebody called the police on something I did. I lied right to their face. And I lied right to their face. I gave them the exact opposite story of what really happened so that I would get away with the crime I'd committed. Lying is a perfectly natural thing for a child or a self-centered person to do. And unfortunately, it makes perfect sense if you're the government and you've done something really sketchy to lie about it. It makes perfect sense. Until you grow up to a certain point. To me, once you hit a certain point in your growth and development, and mainly it's you grow beyond just selfishness and self-centeredness, where it's all about you and your money and your world and your reputation, and you start to be truly connected with other people, then it's just natural not to lie, because you see that lying negatively impacts everybody else around you. Like when my daughter hits my son and then tells him that he didn't do it, now he's sitting there questioning himself. Like, she just hit me, but she's saying she's not. She creates confusion. And one reason we've got so much confusion in this world is because we've got so much lying. But what I'm excited about, I see that human beings are developing. And I see that when you've got somebody like me who I used to think of myself as an honest person, but I'd lie whenever I needed to make me look like an honest person. I used to think of myself as a nice person, and I would lie about things that made me look like a not nice person. And I didn't even realize I was doing it. It was just natural. But when I hit a certain point of growth in my life, it's like, oh, it's like how when you're a kid, you just take for granted that you just crap all, or you use the bathroom all over the place, in a diaper, wherever. But at a certain point of growth, you're able to use the bathroom. And I think humanity collectively is growing up to the point where maybe we're going to be able to get out of this confusion that's caused by all these people and companies that are lying all over the place. And lying is not just blatantly saying something false. Like if I tell you I didn't play The Mask this morning, that's a blatant lie. But a lot of the best lying, if you're a good liar, like I was a good liar, you'd tell the truth. You put some truth in there, and you steer the narrative the opposite direction. You steer the narrative in a way that is not genuine. Like when you see a news story where, there's some kind of violence, and the narrative is steered towards racism, instead of being steered towards a bigger picture, like that, hey, interracial violence is very rare. Violence from your race violence within races is extremely common, and the majority of violence is within a race. And if what we don't like is violence, then what we should do something about is the majority of violence, which is the same race is violent on the same race. That's what most violence is. There's a core fact that happens at each one. But if you get a narrative that says, look, interracial violence is proof of racism, you should be upset, protest the police. That's lying, because it's not accurate in terms of the bigger picture. If you had another narrative that says there was interracial violence, this is extremely rare, the particular way this happened is extremely rare, the odds of this happening to you or anyone you love are almost zero. What is really common is violence from that race onto another of the exact same race. What's even more common than that is self-inflicted harm. So you've got self-inflicted harm is the number one form of harm you're likely to experience. Below that is violence from somebody you love, like a partner, a family member, a friend. That's the next most common form of violence. Then from there, it's somebody you know a little bit, like a coworker or an associate. Then from there, it would be like same race, same community kind of thing. Then from there, it would be different race, different community, stranger. So if you got a genuine picture that was put up there with some statistics, and yes, there can be certain outlier situations, but if you have a bigger picture of things, you know, one narrative gets you all upset and essentially going in the wrong direction. Another narrative gives you all the relevant facts. Like, hey, if you really are against violence, and if you really think lives of a certain race matter, then the number one thing is to stop self-inflicted harm. Because the main way somebody of any race is gonna die is they're gonna kill themselves. Especially if you're a man, the odds of anything else happening dwarf self-inflicted harm. And things like terrorism, even if the 9/11 terror, even if that happened exactly as the narrative said it would, if you put the narrative next to it that, hey, for every one person today that was killed by a terrorist, 300 people are gonna shoot themselves this year. For every one death to this outside entity, 300 people will shoot themselves in the privacy of their own home. See, now that puts, when you have context and a narrative that is more appropriate, it all makes sense. It's hard to get upset about some anomaly happening. Like, oh, this is kind of an outlier. So I'm here to give you a bigger picture. Self-harm is the number one thing you're likely to get hit by. And I can attest to that personally. And the next thing you're likely to get hit by is a lover or family or a friend. It's not strangers that are the threat most of the time. It's yourself and the people you love and care about are the threat. Like 80% of the time. I mean, same thing with your kids. We often think stranger danger. Nope. 97% of the time, something happens to kids. It's the kids do it to themselves, a family member, or a friend. Only 3% of the time is it a stranger. Often we're looking in the exact wrong direction. Lisa said a friend that dyed her hair black. She asked me if I liked it. I told her she looked like a witch. Well, alright, so on that note, I've also had to learn... I've been a bit too harsh with my honesty lots of times. There is a way to use a bit of discretion, and this is a delicate balance. It's a delicate balance. And I'm sure most everybody that's keeping these big level secrets and peddling these harmful narratives would say they're using discretion, but I invite my wife to ask the kind of questions she wants answers to. So if she's gonna ask me a question like, does this dress make me look fat? She doesn't do that now because I've told her, I'm gonna be honest with you. So consider the kinds of questions you ask me. Like, she asked me what I was thinking about one night, and I said, well, I was thinking it'd be nice if we moved another woman into this house, and both of you were my wife at the same time, and we all had one big family. And she got upset, and I'm like, look, you asked me what I was thinking, and I gave you exactly what I was thinking. She's like, well, I'll never do that again. I'm like, here's a better question to ask. Ask if you see that I'm disturbed. Ask if there's anything you can help me with. Because if you ask someone what they're thinking and they give you the truth and it offends you, that's your fault. Don't ask someone what they're thinking unless you want to hear anything that's possible. So my wife doesn't ask me what I'm thinking anymore. And then if people ask me questions like, yeah, my wife dyed her hair before and I didn't like it. And I told her, not the witch thing, but I told her something similar. I'm like, nah, I don't like that at all. So, Honesty, I think in our society today, honesty is one of the most valuable things you can offer. Because so many of us have been subconsciously programmed to not be honest. Because we don't want to offend anybody. So, you know, we want to pretend like we're fitting in to some system that's not worth fitting into. So I try and encourage people, you know, if you ask me a question and you don't know me well enough to realize you shouldn't ask that question, I'll give somebody a little, you know, like if my friend asks me what I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, do you really want to know what I'm thinking? Or do you want to know if there's a way you can help me? Like, I try and help people get to whatever they really want to get to. My wife never asks me what I'm thinking anymore. It just took one honest answer to stop that for good. And I mean, if she would have divorced me over that, then I would have been better off without her. I mean, I apologize too. I'm like, yes, I understand what I said hurt your feelings. And at the same time, I was thinking about it. You asked me what I was thinking. I just told you. She's like, well, you should have. I'm like, nope. You should expect to get answers based on the questions you ask. Don't ask me what I'm thinking if you don't want to know. So now she asks, is there anything I can do to feel better? Are you okay? She doesn't ask what I'm thinking. Alright, my friends, this has been fun playing this game today. We got to the second big boss in this game. And I'm gonna return this to the game store afterwards. We've had meaningful conversations here today. And I'm thankful to all the people who've helped me learn and grow up and be where I'm at today. Because that's how I got here. Instead of me drinking myself to death, people in Alcoholics Anonymous showed me how to be honest, how to be compassionate, how to care about other people. So I'm paying it forward, my friends. I love you. You're awesome. Thanks a lot for being here. Thank you to each of you who's been a member on the channel. Members make a world of difference because I don't have to depend on ad revenue, which is great. Michael, Daniel, Myrtle, Ash, Katie, Pat, and Lisa Ladybug, thank you for being here at the end. Thank you to Nicholas Evans, the legendary membership, Katie Patton at the epic membership, Lisa, the longest active membership in the chat. If you want to get the membership, go to jerrybanfield.com. I got 4 different levels for 4 different egos. The shoutouts memo gives you the emojis and the loyalty badge. Entry level you can get in at. If you want to step it up slightly, stand out a little bit more, you can go to the $10 a month. If you're a gamer and you want to actually get in game, you can drop the $25 a month. And if you got the biggest ego and the biggest wallet and you want to get in on the stream, you can drop that $199 a month membership and I will get in, play a game you want or get in game with you once a month, as long as it's a game I've never played before. I will not repeat play a game for a co-stream. Much love. Have a wonderful... Lisa said if it makes you feel fat, it probably looks that way to others. It does. It does. I mean, that's a good way to say it, too. You don't have to say it looks fat to me. Hey, if you think that dress makes you look fat, you know, wear something else. Alright, my friends, I love you. You're awesome. I'll see you later today or tomorrow or whenever you're around again.